First of all, I welcome everyone. Today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is in the human geography book. It is lesson number 2 for class 12 CBSE what we follow. So at the beginning only I want to say that if anyone don't have the book, if anyone don't possess the book, then in the link in the description we will give the link where if you click, then you will directly get the text or get the lesson from where you can see. So let us start with the lesson, that is second lesson number 2 of human geography that we follow in class 12 CBSE. Name of the lesson is the world population. The world population. So in this lesson we will discuss about the population, the total population of the world, its density, then growth, then distribution, where it is distributed. So first let us come to the topic that is called population. We all know everywhere we used to hear population. Now what is population actually? What do you understand? What can we understand by the word population? So when we say population, it is the total number of, mainly in our mind it comes total number of people or human being. But actually the word population is not only used for human being, it is used for any other thing. The total number of, it may be anything, it may be total number of trees, that is called the population of oak population, or total number of animals of something, so population of tiger you can say. So population does not only mean human being, but though it does not only mean human being, but here in this lesson we will be only oriented with population of human being. We are talking about human population. So when we say population, it means human being, total number of human being in a particular area. It may be a district, it may be a state, it may be a country, or it may be a continent or the whole world. So why do you need to study population in geography or in demography or in any other book? Why do we need to study population? We need to study population because population is the main aspects, that is around which everything revolve or rotate. Either science or technology, either geography, history, economics, everything rotate around population. If there is no population, these all studies will not be there. So it is because of this we need to study population. We need to know about the aspects that is related with population. So for a particular country, for its further development, for its future planning, so it should know about what is the total number of population it has, then what is its growth rate, how many number of male it has, how many number of female it has. So separately they will make the plan for their future so that they can use it. They can make the total population development of the total population. So all these aspects are related with the total population of a country, and it helps a particular country to develop in future. So we are not only related with a particular country in this lesson, rather we are related with the whole world. We will talk about the population of the whole world, how it is distributed in the whole world. So first let us know about the total population of the world. In 21st century, according to a census, in 21st century when the world has entered, we have entered to the 21st century. That is 21st century, let me remind you, 21st century starts from 2000 to 2001, to 2100. That is known as 21st century. That means still it is not 21st, but we are going to be 21st. So at that time it was 6 billion population, total population of the world. So this total population is not in a particular place. It is all distributed in different parts of the world in different pattern. Somewhere it is very high, somewhere it is very low. So according to a geographer, George B. Shelley, he said in Asia, it is with an example of Asia, he said in Asia there has been many places where population is very few. Here we should keep in mind many places where population is very few, and few places where population is very many. That means in Asia there are places where many places are there where very less population is there, and on the other hand there are only few places where very huge population is found. That is why there is the called a distribution of population world. Similarly, like this in the whole world also, not only in Asia but in the whole world also, if you see only in a few places there are a huge amount of population they used to stay. Later on we will discuss about the factors why many people live in the same place or in small places only, and rather the whole world is totally empty only, you can say. So why it is so? So there are many factors related to it, but the originality is that many places are there where many people what called few places are there where many people live, and many places are there where very less people live. So this is the same condition is with the pattern of world population distribution. So first we will start with the pattern of world population distribution. Our next topic is the pattern of population distribution in the whole world, how it is distributed. So when we say the population distribution means how the world population is distributed everywhere, in which country or which part of the world how many population is there, what number of people live in a particular country. That is called the population distribution. So if we see the world map, so before going into the explanation of this world map, I want to suggest everyone, it is compulsory for every person who want to pursue geography, who want to study geography, who want to understand everything related to geography. So for him it is compulsory to almost memorize the map of the world, which country is where in the map, and also with that the map of his own country, he should memorize it, the map of his own country with the map of the world. So if he knows which country is where, then only he will understand the explanation, whatever related to other parts of geography also, then only he will be able to understand it well. So here it is said that about 90% of world population, I want to repeat, about 90% of world population live in only 10% of the total area of the world, 10% of the land area of the world, and rest 90% of the world is rest 10% only live in the 90% of the land area. So the most populous area of the world that we can see, first the most populous area of the world is the Southeast Asian countries. So this is Asia and this is South of Asia, South and East Asian countries. Here it is India, then Pakistan, then Bangladesh, Nepal, then Thailand. These all countries are there, some parts of China also. So here the eastern part of China a little bit. Then apart from this, there are other small pockets, you can say, where population is little bit denser at the same condition like this part of India or the Southeast Asia. So here the part near Nile river, that is in Egypt, so part of Egypt, then some parts of Europe, then Great Britain, that is also very largely populated, then the area near New York, that is Washington DC and all. So these areas of the world are very highly populated. The rest parts of the world the population is very sparsely distributed, that is very thin population is found in rest part of the world. Now why these areas are very highly populated? It is because the things that is needed, the basic things that is needed to survive life, that is air, water, then food, agriculture, then other things later on which came into our basic need, that is cloth, industries, job and all, these are found very easily in those places. That is why people like to live in these places rather than other parts of the world. Somewhere it is very cold, people cannot stay. Somewhere it is totally covered with desert area, people cannot stay in those areas also. Somewhere it is totally covered with mountain, so in mountainous areas also people cannot stay. So in these small pockets of the world only the maximum population of the world used to stay. Let us see the 10 most populous countries of the world. So a populous country is that country where huge amount of population is found, where the population is very high. That is known as populous country. So here I have written the name of some hugely. So here are name of some of the important countries of the world where population is very high. These are called as the most populous countries of the world. So let us see which are the countries. First one is China. I have marked here given number 1 China. Here it is China is here. So next is India. We know first the highest populated country in the world is China. Second populated country in the world is India. So first is China, second is India, then third is USA, here USA, then fourth is Indonesia, then fifth country is Brazil, then Pakistan here, number 6, then CIS, this Commonwealth Independent States. These states were before the part of Soviet Union, Russia, the United Russia, but later on when it was divided into many parts, then these countries were become separate. So these here are some countries which are very highly populated. Then Bangladesh is here. So from here if we see, these all countries are in the areas where we have decided that, or where we have found that these areas are very highly populated areas. So the southeast part of Asia, here only there are around 4 countries which are located in this area only. So in the whole world, around 90% or 92%, 93% of the world population live in these areas only, which is very highly populated. Mostly in the Southeast Asian countries where the climate, the suitable condition for living, agriculture and other things, everything is very easily available here. Next, let us discuss about the density of population. So by the word density of population, we mean the number of people that live in a particular area. So it is little bit different with total number of population of a country. For example, the total number of population of a country may be 1000, but its density may be different. So in respect to density, the area also comes. For example, if you see, the formula to calculate density of population is total number of population of a particular place divided by the total area. In that particular area, how many people are living. For example, this is an area of 10 square kilometers. Suppose this is an area of 10 square kilometer I have drawn. So here total number of people they live is 1000 people they live in this 10 square kilometer of area. So what is the total number of density? What is the density of that particular place? To find out that, we need to divide this 1000 by 10. That is, this 1000 should be divided by 10. That is 1000 total number of population divided by the total area. So the answer we will get after dividing it is 100. This 100 is what? 100 people or 100 person per square kilometer. In per square kilometer, every square kilometer there is 100 people living in that particular area. That is the density of that population. So in the density, while calculating the density, we should bring the area also in respect. So if there is huge amount of population, that is not a problem. But if the density of population is more, that is actually the problem. We should understand that density of population we need to study, because we should see the density of population per square kilometer of area, how many people are living. Then only we will find out whether that huge population is problem for the country or not. So next, let us see the distribution of density of population in different parts of the world. So already we have discussed about the populous countries of the world, or the highly populated areas of the world. So the density of population is also almost same only, but little bit difference is there. Here I have marked the first highly densely populated, that is 200 person per square kilometer is found in this area. That is the northeastern part of USA. First one. Second is northwestern part of Europe. Here it is, northwestern part of Europe. These countries are industrially very developed, these both countries. Then southeast and eastern part of Asia. These all countries where India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, some parts of China, all this come in this part. These areas are very highly populated in the world. That is 200% per square kilometer, more than 200% per square kilometer are found in this area. First thing. Secondly, there are also areas which is very thinly populated, where there is very less amount of population is found. Here if we see the areas of Russia, the Siberian area, you can see areas of North Pole and South Pole. Here Australia, then some parts of this one Alaska, some parts of Canada, then some parts of Africa, they are in desert area. And here also some desert areas are there. These all areas are very thinly populated. And rest part of the world, apart from these two parts, these are medium population density are found there, and neither it is very high nor it is very low. So this all we have discussed. The first population of total population of particular country and its distribution, then the density of population in different parts of the world. Now there are different causes or factors related with the distribution of density in different places. Like the Southeast Asia is very highly populated, its density also is very high. Why it is so? Why it is not in the Siberian region? So there are different factors related. Next we will move to the factors that is related with the density of population. Next, let us talk about some of the factors that influence population to be more in a particular place and less in other places. Why it is more in some places, why there is less in some other places. So the factors that influence the distribution of population. People like to live in a particular area, they don't like to live in some other area. So it is there are certain factors due to which it happens. The first factor, that is availability of water. So people, for different purpose, they need water. So for first for drinking, then for bathing, then for cooking, then for washing other clothes and different things. For everything they need water. So not today only, but from the very past, when human beings first started to settle in a particular place, they have always selected a particular place where they easily get water. They don't need to search water and go very long distance to bring water. So they have always selected a particular place where they can easily get water. That is why it is the first reason why different river valleys have been accompanied, or different river valleys have been used by different civilization, where different civilization has grown in different parts of the world. So from the very past, either you take the example of Mesopotamian civilization or Indus Valley civilization. So in the Mesopotamian civilization, this civilization has started beside the two rivers, in between two rivers, that is Euphrates and Tigris. And Indus Valley civilization also has started beside the river Indus. So people always need water, available water. So in the places where there is available water, there only people like to live. Either there may be a river that flows in the plain area, or there should be a small stream that comes from a mountain, or there should be at least a lake from where they can get easy and available water. So in those regions only people used to go and settle down more. If there is no water, there is a scarcity of water in those areas, you will obviously find less amount of people. So the next important factor that is needed for population distribution is type of landform. So what kind of landform a particular place is, it will determine whether people will like to live in those areas or not. So if the landform is mountainous area, so in a mountainous area it is difficult, life is a bit difficult because construction of houses, so availability of markets, cultivation of crops, these all things are very difficult in mountainous region. So people will not like to stay in mountainous region. So either it is a plateau region, it is not a mountain also, not a plain also, but a plateau region. So in a plateau region also, though in respect with mountain, in comparison with the mountain, in plateau region the life is little bit easy. Agriculture and some other factors, construction of roads are little bit easy than in a mountainous area. Still then people will not very much prefer to live in a plateau region. So people will always, more amount of people will always like want to stay in a plain region where construction of roads are very easy, agriculture is can be done very easily, and construction of houses are also very easy, transportation of goods from one place to another is also very easy. So in the plain region, due to flat landform, that is type of landform is very flat, very plain, so here people will like to stay in these areas because the type of landform that is available here is good for construction of roads and doing agriculture also. So the type of landform also determine whether in a particular place there will be population or in some other place they will go. So the next factor that influence the distribution of population in different parts of the world, that is climate. So climate is one of the important factor because people don't like to stay in a place where there is excessive rainfall or where it is very cold that throughout the year it is covered with snow only. Then either it is a desert area where it is only covered with sand and sand dunes. So in these all places where there is extreme type of climate, these all are called extreme type of climate. Either it is very hot or very cold, or extremely rainy or either no rain. So in this type of climate people don't like to live. People like to live in the climate which is very moderate, that is some parts of the year they get rainfall, some parts of the year it is dry season. Then some part of the year the temperature is little bit more and some part of the year it is cold. So in those regions people used to live. So climate is a very influential factor, very important factor which determines that in a particular place whether there will be more population or there will be less population. Next is soil. The type of soil that is found in a particular area will determine whether that particular soil or particular area is good for cultivation or not. For example, the area that is beside a particular river, this is the river flowing, the area beside it will have alluvial type of soil, and this alluvial type of soil is very good for cultivation of crops, agriculture. So anything without plowing, without applying any fertilizer, if the seed is sown in these areas, so this is a lake, beside the lake also there will be alluvial soil. So if seed is sown in this alluvial soil, then obviously by itself only a very good cultivation can be taken from this type of soil. So people obviously they want to stay in the part of in the type of soil where agriculture can be done. From the very past Indus Valley civilization or Mesopotamian civilization, in all kind of civilization if you want to see, then in those civilization there is only the area where agriculture can be done, only in those areas only this civilization has grown. But recently black soil or red soil or yellow soil are also given importance because some soil are good for cultivation of other kind of crops like sugarcane, cotton and all, which is good for industries. Then also some soil is good for extraction of minerals, which is also good for industries. So not only alluvial soil, though initially it was alluvial soil was given importance nowadays, but beside this black soil and red soil, yellow soil are also at present very important. But arid soil which is found in the desert region, this soil is not suitable for human civilization or development of human population. So far we have discussed the geographical factors which is related with distribution of population. So let us move on to the other factors which are related with distribution of population. So the economic factor which are responsible for distribution of population in different parts of the world are, first one is availability of minerals. So it was only in the earlier times that people used to see only the area where we can do agriculture. But recently when industries were found, when minerals were being used for producing different kind of things for finished goods, and economy has been now totally dependable on availability of minerals. So minerals are also given now importance for settlement. So a place where huge amount of minerals are found, in those areas there is huge amount of jobs are also available. So industries are also go and settle in those areas only where huge amount of minerals are found. Cutting the mountains or digging the land, huge amount of minerals are extracted. So in those areas only people used to stay, people used to live, because huge amount of job, though it is not good for health, though the living environment is not good, still then people used to live in those areas only. So minerals are the most densely populated regions of the world. In India also, if you see, minerals are the most densely populated region everywhere. So the area where there is huge amount of minerals, in those areas only people like to live. Next is urbanization. So in the area where there is roads are very good, people don't like to live in the area where it is very backward, or in the village area where roads are not good, where no electricity, no street light, then no this one hospital facility, schooling facility, or other amenities, that is shopping malls, then good finance bank and all. So people obviously they used to move to a place where there is a huge amount of facilities available. So here in the areas where there is roads are very good, where there are street lights, where buildings and industries are there, where buildings are very well constructed. So though it is very congested, people will stay in congestion only, still then they will like to stay in the urban areas only, which is like town area, because all these facilities which I have mentioned, like hospital, schooling, shopping malls and all, electricity facility, everything is available in the urban region. So if a particular region grows in urban area, so people used to come to that area, and the population density of that particular region goes becomes big, or it goes to increase. The third important point is industrialization, that is conversion of a particular area from village to an industrially developed region. So if in a particular country, if there is industry, then in search of job, people from different parts of that particular country or different parts of the world will come and will construct houses in by nearby area, or will try to settle in that particular area. As a result, because here job is available, people will come here. Because of people coming, different amenities also will come here. Ultimately, this particular area will grow into urban area. So these two conditions are almost interrelated with each other. That is, where there is industry, ultimately urban area will also come there. So either industrialization or urbanization, both comes one after another. If there is industrialization, people will come finding job for industrial areas, and then ultimately that area will be converted to urban. Then again the next condition will be applied, that is urbanization. So people like to live in the area where there is industries, because they will get commodities that is produced in the industry in a cheaper cost. Firstly, secondly, most important cost, that is job availability of jobs. So because of job availability, people used to like in those areas. So these are the factors, that is economic factors, due to which a distribution of population is different in different parts of the world. Next point, that is that affect the distribution of population, is social and cultural factor. So people obviously don't like to stay in a particular place which is always dominated by violence, where there is always violence takes place, where there is war. So a particular place where always war takes place, people used to leave that place and go to a particular place which is totally peace, where they can find peace. So the area where there is peace or harmony, in those places the population density is more, and the place where there is always war and disturbances, the population density in those areas is less, because some people they die out of war. Secondly, they also leave the place and go to some other place. So people of particular religion also, some religion they permit more amount of population. So because of that, the population in that particular religion is more. And some other religion they don't allow or they permit to control population. Population control is taught in that particular religion. So the population density in that particular religion is less. More than that, people always if they move from one place to another, they always like to stay in the particular places where they find their people of their own religion. If they find their people of their own religion, they used to stay together. So that also attract people to come to a particular place where already people were more. People from other places they come and they stay with that particular population, then the density of population increase. So these are some of the social and cultural factor which actually influence the population density of a particular region, or you can say the whole world distribution of population is affected by these factors. Let us move to the next topic, that is population growth. So when we think about population growth, what is population growth? Obviously the thing that comes to our mind is increase of population. Always anyone I have asked, they have always said that it is increase of population. But let us today clear the concept that population growth, it does not mean increase of population or only increase of population. Population growth means population change between 2 point of time, between two, say 1 year, that is 2020 and 2021, maybe between this period of time the amount of population that has changed, either it may increase or it may decrease, but it will be called as population growth. If it decrease also, then also it will be called as population growth only. For example, in 2020 in a particular place there were 100 people. In 2021 it has become 90 people. That means 10% has become less, 10% has decreased. So this is what called negative population growth. This will be called as negative population growth, because population has gone down, become less. And this, in the second example, in a particular place there were, in 2020 there were 100 people, in 2021 it has become 110. Now 10 people have increased, it has become more. So this will be called as positive population growth. But both will be population growth only. It is not that population decrease because population has decreased, so it is not population growth. In both cases it will be population growth only, but one is positive, other is negative. So based on the change of population in 2 period of time, that is actually known as population growth. So this population growth can be expressed in 2 different ways. One is absolute, that is total number of population. Here I told you that is 100 people and 10 people have decreased. This is called absolute expression of population growth. And in other ways it can be expressed in percentage also, that is 10% of the population what was before, of that 10% have increased or 10% have decreased. So mostly population is expressed, or growth of population is expressed in percentage only. The population growth of a particular region always indicate about the economic development of that particular region, then its socio-economic background, its religious beliefs, everything. If we study the population growth only, we can find out, or we can say almost everything of that particular region. So this population growth also determines, or also makes it sure that in future what will be the future of that country, whether it will be economically developed or its society will be a good one, or how it is. Because if there is more population, that particular country will suffer from different types of problems that we can see in the present world. So more population is also not good, and less population, that is negative population growth, also is not good. So there should be a moderate population growth which is according to or up till the control of the particular government of the country. So it should be up till that only. So next or important point that is related with population growth is population growth rate of population. So population growth rate is always found out in percentage. So if we say 10% of population growth, that is found out in respect of percentage. So it is divided by per thousand, per 100 population, how many people have increased, that is called growth rate of population growth. So here natural population growth. So the natural population growth, next is natural growth rate of population. So in the natural growth rate of population, the total number of birth, that is birth rate, it is called birth rate, and the total number of death, that is called death rate. So the birth rate, total number of newborn babies, and total number of death, it is minus, it can be done minus, then we can get the actual natural growth rate. And actual growth rate we will find, because it is not only determined by birth rate and death rate, because also people, there is in migration and out migration, people coming from inside, going from one country to other country, going outside, and coming from other country to our country, that is this is called in migration, people coming from outside to our country, and out migration is going from our country to other country. So at the same time, these both processes are taking place. So if we do both together, that is birth rate minus death rate plus in migration minus out migration, people who went out, then only we will get the actual growth rate of population. This is natural growth rate, but this is the actual growth rate. So these were some of the ideas that were related with growth rate of population. Next we will go to the other topics related with this chapter. Thank you.